are recording PNL live. Look, we got some duels to talk about. First of all, we're getting down to crunch time, right? I mean, we are getting down to February is duel season, but March is right around the corner, and that's tournament season. And there were some great duels last weekend. We probably won't have too much time to do recap stuff if we're going to look forward because there's 4 monster duels this weekend. 3 of them are on Friday night. 1 of them is on Sunday. Let's talk about the 3 on Friday night really quickly. So it's UNC at NC State. Okay,
big rivalry. Big.
Yeah, it's a huge rivalry. There's not like so the Southeast is becoming a true wrestling hotbed. Like, when we were growing up, Jared, we did not think of the Southeast as a wrestling hotbed.
SEC is coming on strong.
Yeah, high school teams. I think there's 5 NCAA Division I schools in the state of North Carolina that have wrestling.
That could be. I do not know those stats.
Well, let's find out. It's UNC, NC State, Duke, Davidson. I think I'm missing one. I think is Campbell in North Carolina?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so there's 5. Damn, I'm good. But that's a big one, dude. It's a monster rivalry, and to say that the Southeast is coming up, well, that's just they're there. They are there. So it's kind of cool to see that. And then the Big Ten duels that we have on Friday night as well. Where's Iowa again?
They are at Michigan.
Michigan, right. And then Penn State at Ohio State. So where is that vice versa? Ohio State at Penn State, I should say.
Isn't it at Ohio State?
Oh,
I think Penn State's at Ohio State. I thought you said
Yep.
it was
Penn State at Ohio State. Sorry. Yep. Okay. So which one do you want to go over first? Because those are some real good duels. Like we're not going to have a chance to go through every single weight class again, but we decided we were going to pick out a few.
Let's start with Penn State, Ohio State. Let's start with the 2 big dogs, right? And that actually, it says it's on Rec Hall. It's at Rec Hall, so it is at Penn State.
Okay, at Penn State.
Which favors them even more. Like, they don't need any more favoring, but that's going to help them.
For sure.
As long as everybody's in. Now, here's the problem that we need to mention is that there's a lot of chatter now. What happens is you'll have a really good Cliff Keen. You'll beat a lot of people at the beginning, and then I feel like people are like starting to dodge.
Yeah.
A little bit. And you're like,
you say dodge, I say hold on to their ranking, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're trying to hold on to their ranking.
So it sucks for the fans. But as a strategic play, it's not a bad play. It's just when you beat that kid once, it doesn't help you to wrestle him again in a duel. So hopefully we see everybody in these matches, and it's good.
Nagao, is he banged up because he didn't start the last duel, or is he?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. He does. From what it was at the Go First, right? He can be a little dinged up and be like, nope, I'm good.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really?
Just wants to be at full capacity. So, So we got Braden Davis, Brendan McCrone.
Yeah. Buzakis, Nagao.
Yeah, I mean, those are like, now Penn State's obviously ranked ahead at both of those, but I would like to see Nagao versus Buzakis. I'd like to see that match.
For sure.
It's the top game, right? Nagao on the feet, I think they can be pretty even. It's just whether or not Buzakis can stop that top game and how strong he is.
Nagao is really tricky with those tilts, right? Like he can tilt anybody. Those hazard tilts.
He will bring the pain to you.
Yeah. The one match that I'm really interested in is Jesse Mendez, Bo Bartlett.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I can't say enough good things about Jesse Mendez. Like, I love that kid to death. And I'm not saying that I dislike Bartlett, but I'm just saying from a dad perspective, like, he's a kid that you can point your son to and go, hey, if you wrestle like that, you're gonna win a lot more than you lose, right? Like, kid's got a motor, he's fearless.
But Bo Bartlett is also super good and super athletic.
Super athletic.
I love watching his Instagram reels where he's like doing a flip, but like from his stomach.
Yeah.
He's like laying flat and then all of a sudden does a flip.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the kid is super athletic.
Great match. 49, we got Kasich D'Amelio. Like, that's a 9 versus 12. Like, Kasich hasn't wrestled anybody, but he's good. Yeah,
Dylan D'Amelio is really cagey. Yeah, like, I don't know. That's a very polite way. That's some Minnesota nice shit right there. Yeah, he's cagey. Yeah, he's hard to score on. Like, let's put it that way. Patty G against Levi Haynes, interesting. Bryce.
Now, is he back? Is he in? Is because
Patty? I don't know.
Yeah, he wasn't in the last time, and on one of the ones that I have, they have Isaac Wilcox in.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know. I hope he's in, because that would be that's just a good match. They're both young. They're both the same age. They've probably been wrestling each other their whole life. I would like to see that match.
That's PA versus Ohio through and through, right? Yeah. Like, that is as PA versus Ohio as it gets.
So hopefully Patty Gallagher can get back into the lineup. I think he was out last week.
Yes. Messenbrink Hepner.
I don't know. Messenbrink looks good right now.
He's really, really hard to stop right now. He is kind of everything we thought. He's everything that we thought Meyer Shapiro was going to be.
Yep.
Like,
he looks good. He's moving. Problem. He's hungry. He wants to score a bunch of points.
He's
definitely bought into the Kool-Aid of Penn State, where it's like, I'm just going to score points.
All the time. All the time from every position. Yeah, it's cool to watch. Hey, does Rocco Welsh have a shot against Starachi? Does he have a shot?
I don't know.
The answer is no. If you're shaking your head like that, it's no. I
want it to be good. I don't want him to be able to blow people out, and he is strong, and maybe there's a way he can be tough on top. It's just Starachi's just as good in every position.
He's so good. He's so good.
We'll see. Right.
Okay, so fine then. What about your boy Ragazzi against Bernie Truax? Because I heard that Ragazzi's getting a nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truax probably has him on paper. He can get a little single leg on him. Again, you can take Ryder down as many times as you want.
It's cool because the match
his
stops with the fall.
Is bottom. So, like, when you're riding him, you better have.
I love when you say that, because it's like
most
you say
people
it's so
let their guard down on top. You let your guard down on top, and he'll get you.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's funny that you say it. My high school coach spent 2 years of my life reversing me to my back every day, every freaking day. And like, when you say things like his best position is bottom, it makes me giggle, because that son of a gun would like wrist roll me or Granby me, somehow wind up in a Peterson, and I'd be on my back and I'd want to punch him in the face.
If you get on your back against Ryder, man, I'm telling you, he is really good at pinning. Like, some people, some people, it doesn't matter what position you're in. Like, you can have them in a headlock, you can have them in a whip over, and they can't pin anybody.
Yes.
This guy will have he just has like one arm, and he'll find a way to pin you.
That will make things interesting. I don't know if
on paper, he's not supposed to win, right?
Yeah,
but I said last week though, and he got tech balled the guy.
Yeah, but I think Truax is he's a seasoned guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's a seasoned guy. I just don't know if I see that happening. Okay, Geog versus AB. AB is lights out right now. I don't think anybody's beating him with a bat. Nick Feldman against Kirkfleet. What do you think over there? That should be interesting.
And I'm trying to give Feldman a little credit, but I think Greg's too big for him, man.
He's so big.
Too big. He's too long. He's going to get down on those ankles where Feldman has that power. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
sure.
like shorter power. And I would, if I was Greg's coach, I'd be like, hey, we're going to work these low ankles and run through the positions and get there. And Greg's looking real good right now too, real solid.
For sure. Yeah, he's wrestling at a real high level. Okay, so it's looking like that. Like it's probably going to be
It's looking like Penn State's winning a lot of those matches. Yeah, we're hoping to keep it even by, like Mendez winning, D'Amelio winning. Maybe you can get like a Bozakis in there that can maybe get an upset.
But that's still 3.
That's where we're at.
3 out of 7.
That's what happens when the team's really good.
Apparently they're good at wrestling. Yes. As it turns out, Penn State good at wrestling. Got it. Okay.
So that'll be a sold out rec hall. That'll be real fun.
Yeah, it'd be good. All right. Iowa.
Oh yeah. Iowa, Michigan.
Michigan. This is interesting.
There's some toss-up matches here that could get real interesting. A lot of them.
D'Agostino, Ayala.
Yeah. Like he's ranked like 4 right now, but I'll tell you what, Ayala shoots like straight, he shoots singles and D'Agostino can scramble and Ayala cannot scramble as good. So it's just whether or not D'Agostino can force scramble positions, and it's whether or not Ayala can force basic finishes, right? And Iowa does a tremendous job when they get to the leg of not allowing people to scramble. So it's whether or not that will happen.
Let me ask you this. Does it make a difference that Ayala is lefty with that single leg?
Maybe.
A little bit, right?
Yeah. But what is D'Agostino? Is he righty or lefty? I actually don't know what he is.
I think he's righty, but I guess the point is that most people are used to defending a single leg on their left leg, not on their right. You throw a left-hand single leg at me, I'm like, brrr. Like I'm just all over the road. But that can, I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. I think it's still going to be muddy water for Ayala. Like I think it's just going to be a muddled mess trying to finish against a kid like that. It just always is, right? As good, you can be as good as you want finishing head inside single legs. You get a guy that knows how to scramble in those positions, he's going to muddy the water, if nothing else.
For sure.
Ragus and Teskey. Any chance Teskey pulls this one out?
I don't think so. I think Ragus is right on page. That's why I got my Izzy shirt on.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
I got that for you, Izzy. Everything's awesome about this, other than that eye. That eye is just kind of a weird looking eye.
just sticks out to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, another Izzy guy.
Would be really
Hold on
cool.
a second.
Maybe a different color too.
There you go. Another Izzy guy. Real Woods against Sergio Lemley. Real Woods is wrestling at a real high level. I do not see that going any other way but his. Austin Gomez and then Caleb. What is the Romani pronunciation? If you're listening to this, can you please get with me about, because Rathjen is not correct, by the way, from what I'm
It's not?
No. There's some very interesting, they don't like the term gypsy, but that is the nomenclature that is used.
Who would know is probably Dylan Carew.
Yeah?
Our big game guy would know, or we can.
Is he
reach out to TJ Seabold? I think he's a Seabold guy, right? So we could probably reach out to him and say, "Hey, give us the pronunciation on this, so we're not screwing up on air."
Okay,
all right. Followers.
In the 157 pound is sponsored by Ambient. It's Will Luan against Jared Franick. That was good. Thank you for laughing at that. I'm just gonna let that one sit and marinate for a second. All right.
That was good.
Positional wrestlers.
I'm actually going to throw that at a couple people. Luan, he'll bore you to death, though, and you'll make a mistake.
Yeah. Does he? But, here's the thing that I don't understand. He wrestles so hard in sudden victory. So he's accepting that he's going to get tired. Why can't you just do that in the first 7, bro? Like, why can't you? I just don't understand
He's playing the defensive card.
Okay, is there something to be said for peppering a guy with jabs?
He's boring, but I'll tell you what, he's an All-American. I know a lot of really, really good wrestlers that are not All-Americans. So
I am not trying to take anything away.
Doesn't attack a lot, but he finds a way to win.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think Franic's probably going to get that one. But that's one
he's
of the
so
ones.
big.
Michigan's going to win. They need that. They need that.
Yes, for sure.
They need Gomez. They need Willowan.
I think Gomez goes big, dude. I think Gomez goes big. I really do. I think he's he's just one of those guys that loves the limelight, doesn't love Iowa. Yeah, I don't know. 65, Cameron Mean, Michael Caliendo. That's about as close to a matchup as you can get, right?
That's
like both of them. Matchup. Yeah, it is. And like Caliendo, he's not, we were talking about Willowan being super positional. He has some offense. Caliendo can score from different positions. Amin has a double leg that he's for whatever reason like not uncorked this as much this year.
Yeah.
But like I know he's got it, and like that's easier for me to say than it is for anyone else to do, right? Because taking those big monster double legs with your head up, they don't feel great. Like they hurt. So you
big strong hips for sure, but that's a great match. That's good. There's going to be some really good hand fighting in that match. There may not be a ton of like attacks, but those guys, that's going to be a high paced match. I feel.
I agree. Okay, Griffith Kennedy. Griffith, another positional wrestler, right? Like defensive wrestler. He is very hard to score on.
Yep.
Pat Kennedy goes after you. He's a hand fighting son of a gun. He is as Iowa is, right? So
he's gotten tired a couple matches before last couple weekends. So hopefully, whatever. But again, like that's a match Michigan's going to need to win. You got a national champ. He's going to have to step up and get that match done for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Jaden Bullock, Aiden Riggins.
Same thing. This is a toss-up, but Michigan, if you want to get in this, if you want a chance to beat Iowa, you're going to have to win that match too.
They can absolutely beat Iowa.
They match up pretty good. I got it
real well.
5-5, man. 5-5.
Yeah.
But Michigan's toss-ups. They're going to need to win. Iowa's going to get, I think, some.
Yeah. But also, like you put in an Austin Gomez that can get fall points. Like that kid can get a fall.
Yep.
From darn near everywhere. He is the only wrestler on this Michigan lineup that is really offensive, really goes for the jugular. The rest of the guys are very positional. Bobby Strigout, Zach Glazer. Again, these are top. I mean, is there a world where Strigout beats Glazer? Yeah, there's a world. Yeah. That's not the craziest thought in the world, but it's probably going to go Glazer's way. Now, this one is interesting. If it comes down to heavyweight, Ben Keeter against Lucas Davison.
And it's kind of nice because they're both smaller heavyweights, right?
They are.
I actually think it favors Keeter a little bit because he's smaller.
Yeah.
Versus you're not.
That kid can wrestle.
Score on Greg, like who's huge.
Yeah. That kid can wrestle for sure. He can wrestle, and he's starting to get his wrestling lungs back. You can see him kind of pushing every time out. So if it comes down to heavyweight,
which I think it will, that's if Michigan can step up. The last couple of weekends, they have not totally stepped up to the plate. They've lost those toss-up matches. Yeah. If they can win the toss-up ones, I think it'll come down to heavyweight and be really good.
That'd be awesome. Okay. Yeah. Well, what does it matter who wins? No, because we're in for a good duel.
Yep.
And then the other one Friday night is UNC at NC State. Wow.
Now, Russell Stat does have this. I wasn't totally thinking it would be like this. Russell Stat has NC State over UNC 27-6.
Okay. So as I'm looking at this lineup, Spencer Moore, Camacho, Jace Palmer, Kyle Reen, Lachlan McNeil, they're probably going to win against Ryan Jack. Will Guida, Jackson Arrington, Sonny
That's
Santiago.
a good match, by the way. That's the match that we want to watch on that duel. You got Ryan Jack versus Lachlan McNeil, right?
Yeah.
Now, Jack beat him earlier in the year at Cliff Keen, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
Let me see if I can find.
Yep. Lachlan lost 4-2.
Interesting. Okay.
But they have him winning here by all the other opponents that they've thrown into the algorithm. They have McNeil winning. But I'm going the other way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Ryan Jack is real tough to score on.
Yep.
Will Guida, Jackson Arrington, Sonny Santiago, Ed Scott, Isaiah Estrada, AJ Kovacs.
That's where they can start. That's where if NC State wants to get on a roll.
Yeah.
Or they already are on a roll. I guess North Carolina, they need Lachlan to win to kind of keep things going, keep things down a little bit.
Tyler Isham.
They actually match up not great.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you said it was 20-something to 6, I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I could definitely see that. Cade Lout, maybe over Treffin, I guess. But Trent Hidley is in a very elite class at 197 pounds. Fishbacks.
They could win some, but we're looking at like
it's going to be a blowout. I mean, it's going to be a blowout.
Maybe 3 matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a blowout. Okay, let's go to Sunday, bro. Woo! We got Cowboys going out to Columbia and taking on the Mizzou Tigers. That should be a really good duel.
It should be. They have Missouri winning 18-12, but that's just a one match, right? That's a one match.
Yeah, if that switches, whether that be 157, T. Travis, right? Brock Mahler, maybe. I mean, T. Travis is wrestling well.
They have Noah Certain beating Spratley, and I like Noah. He will throw the kitchen sink at you. Sure. He likes to shoot. He comes up to that body lock and he's looking to throw. He does a cement mixer, right? And I don't know that a guy like Spratley, like you said, he's tough.
He's tough. He's
tough. You try to cement mixer him and he might just say, I'm not going. Yeah,
but he did go. Well, I don't know that it was a cement mixer, but he did get pinned in 40 seconds.
He did get pinned earlier in the year.
So it's right. You can be tough. You get stuck like that. Boy, oh boy. Not good, right? Now, that said, I don't think that happens this time. I think it's going to be a certain win. That was a point.
Yeah, that's a tough call though. That's a toss-up one for me, to be honest.
Yes, I agree. I have it 3-4 Mizzou.
Okay.
Cade Moore, Dayton Fix.
Dayton's going to do his thing. He's going to get in there and score.
I would think it's bonus points. I have 4 for the Cowboys there.
Yeah. It's not hard for him to get bonus points because, Dayton's a great takedown guy, man.
Yeah.
He is really good, but he's not like I'm going to get 4 takedowns a period. I'm going to get 1 in the first, I'm going to get 1 in the second, I'm going to get 1 in the third. Well, that's 9 points.
Yes, it is. 9 points is a lot of points in college wrestling. Golly, 9 points for 3 takedowns. That's wild to me. That's more than a major. Okay. Tegan Jameson, Josh Edmonds. Josh Edmonds, we've talked about this before, hot and cold, right? You don't know what kid you're going to get sometimes. But this kid, Tegan Jameson, is starting to be a little bit more consistent. I got him winning this one.
Yeah, but they're both straight on. They both wrestle very straight on. Tegan's a very strong guy. His shoulders are huge. So he shoots in on a single and he can pull that in. But Josh Edmond, man, you may not get to his legs. He's
That's
fast.
right. Yeah,
Right?
he is
You can get
super
to him
fast.
if you can create angles on him, but just staying in front of him, I don't know. That one's closer than I think.
Okay.
I like they have that one like 10-4, and I'm thinking that's going to be a one takedown match.
Copy that. Okay. Sammy Alvarez seems to have been getting the nod here at 149 pounds as of late.
Yeah.
You know, I asked a couple people because I'm a huge Jordan Williams fan. I'm a huge. I love the kid to death, and I'm like, first of all, why is he cutting down to 49? And they're like, he's small. I'm like, he's not. Okay, if you say so.
But they say everybody's small. Like that's John Smith.
Here was the I'm going to leave names out of it, but the guy that I spoke to was telling me about, and this is going to give it away. He's like, my son wrestles at 159. Okay. And he said, you put him next to Jordan, and Jordan is 3 inches shorter and nowhere near as wide. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think people carry their weight differently. And I don't know, man. I just like, for me, that kid's a
how well
57.
you cut weight too. There's some people that don't cut weight at all. Like they're
Yes,
just not good.
They're not good at it. They're not. Were you good at it? You were good at it.
But I cut weight like my whole life. I had to be good. When you have skinny little arms like this, you got to cut weight.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So it's Alvarez and Logan Joffrey. Any thoughts on that?
That's a toss-up, man.
That's a big toss-up match.
Like that's a one takedown match. We're looking at 30 and 51 ranked in the country. Like either one of those guys can win. Whatever team needs that to win, man. Right now they have Joffrey winning, but like that's a huge match.
So I love Alvarez. He used to come to my camps. He wrestled in Garfield, New Jersey. He used to come to my camps, like when I would do like weekend camps. Wrestled for Rutgers for a couple of years. Just kind of found his way out to Stillwater, as you do. But the kid's a gamer. Like he loves the lights. He loves the lights.
He's suave, man. He's
got skill.
He's slick.
Yeah, he's very skillful, man.
I actually think it could go that way. They have it going the other way. I have maybe Alvarez winning.
I do too, and that makes things way more interesting in this duel. So if we're gun to head, I would probably still go with Alvarez, but I might think about it more. But just for the sake of a fun duel, I want to see Alvarez win. Like that's kind of cool,
Yep.
Teague Travis is wrestling well. Brock Mahler got beat up last week, didn't he? Who did they wrestle?
They wrestled your boy, man, Shapiro.
Oh, that's right. He got lumped up. That's right.
He got injured. It was like 16-4 maybe? No. 14-4 maybe, something like that. I mean, he did. Shapiro really stepped up his game there. And because Brock is hard to score on, man.
For sure.
And he's tough.
You know what's funny? Is a guy like Shapiro, when it's like a downhill runner in football, when you get him moving and you get him scoring points, they're going to come in big bunches. Like it snowballs quickly with a guy like that. And I have a feeling that if he wrestles Brock Mahler, that is, if he wrestles Shapiro later this season at the NCAA tournament, I don't think it's going to go the same way. Meaning, I'm not saying Shapiro won't win, but I don't think it's going to be a major, right?
Yeah.
Like I just have a feeling.
Yep.
Oh, now we got the marquee. Is this like the best matchup of the weekend? Isaac Leznick and then Keegan O'Toole? That sounds like fun.
Yep.
That said, though, I think Keegan O'Toole is just
too good of a wrestler.
He's just good everywhere. The kid's really good.
He's looking good. And Leznick kind of was doing really well, and then Carr kind of put it on him a little bit, man. 8-1, sure. So we're looking at 2 takedowns, almost 3 a couple times. So, I don't know. And at the same weekend, Keegan, had Ramirez, who we thought was going to be pretty close, and he ended up majoring him.
Yeah. Yeah, in a big bad
So
way.
Keegan and David Carr, right? They're really separating them two away from
Yeah,
everybody.
they're separating themselves with the rest of the pack for sure at 165 pounds. Braden Thompson, Peyton Mako. So if this is a big if Oklahoma State wants to win this duel and walk out of Columbus really happy, they got to get this one.
Yeah.
They got to get this one. And they'll probably need bonus points from Plot. Right? Like Plot against Whiting.
Yeah, which could be.
What does WrestleStat say about that one?
They're
By the
both
way,
good, though. I mean, these are great. This is a good duel.
this is a great duel. This is a great,
just good
duel.
matches. They both match up really well. You don't have any blowouts.
That's right.
Like good people are matched up with good people, and then you have like your top 10 ranked people are matched up with top 10, and then you have your 20, 30 that are ranked with, it's a good duel. This could be
Speaking of which, I believe what's Rocky Elam? What is he like? What does WrestleStat say about that one?
They have Rocky winning 8-3 actually. So
last time I'm pretty sure Luke Serber beat him. I'm 99.9% sure Luke Serber beat him last year.
Yes. No. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Luke Serber, he did. He beat him
like 4-3 or something
actually,
like that.
I have right here that Serber beat him. Oh, it was 2023. You're right. So last February, a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
At the duel in Stillwater, he beat him. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, look, again, I mean,
yeah, this duel can go a lot of ways.
This could go so many different ways. There's a world where
it could be a blowout for either team, or it could be split.
Yeah. So, man, all right. Connor Duchette, Zach Elam. I think Zach Elam probably wins that. But
he wins, but this is a close match too. I mean, you're talking number 15 versus number 6. The last time they wrestled, Elam won in overtime.
Really? I didn't think. I thought it was okay.
And the time before that, it was 4-2 last year. Like that's a one takedown match. So,
all right. Now here's my big question. If you are Coach Pat, wait. If you're John Smith, what match do you want to start with, and which match do you want to end with?
Good question.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
I
want to start at 33 if I'm John.
See, and I think like Kagan, I think he might cut some weight to get down to 41. I think Spratley might be cutting some weight to get down to 25. I might try to start at 49. Give those guys a little extra room to get big and know what the duel is. And like, hey, it's Sunday. We'll get your weight off, this week. Like, be big, be healthy.
Okay. All right. Now.
You could start there. You could start off there and try to, get on a roll. Right. Yeah. But you could also get on a roll at, Alvarez. Maybe you need that roll though to get Alvarez, to get those guys rolling. If you can get, you're right. If you can get Fix to win, Jameson to win, then all of a sudden Alvarez is like, well, shoot, we're on a winning streak. I got to keep it going.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. And now if you are Mizzou, do you want to start at 74 and end with Keegan?
Maybe, or you start with Keegan and try to get Mako to beat Braden, and then you roll right into, you got Plot, but Whiting's not bad. You try to get him on a roll, and then you have your two Elams on a roll.
Which are, I hear you.
It can go both ways. That's a tough call, man. That would
so be, if I'm Mizzou and we need bonus to win, which I don't think it's. I truthfully, I think it's probably going to be like a 5 or 6 point match, like dual meet. But if I need a fall against the number 4 guy in the country, I want Keegan O'Toole on the mat because that kid is a gamer, number one, and he can get falls, and he's great in every position. So, yeah, I got to tell you, man, I'd love to see that start. You know, I'd love to see it start not at 25. How about that? You
Yeah,
know, I think
that's
that
probably where
there's
it's going to start. Is at 25.
no. I mean, they can draw.
I feel
They
like
can.
John's. I feel like John's that guy. Like, no. We start the duel at 25 and we end it
Yeah.
heavyweight. That's how
Yeah,
we do it.
I don't love that. I don't love that. You're right.
But
You're
you
right.
can just be more strategic. And college coaches, they're. I don't know that they're always thinking that far ahead. They got a lot of other stuff on their mind.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But
That
yes, you
is
got to
for
figure
sure.
out where you can get on a roll and get your team, get your mojo going.
Yes. Yeah, and then the 2 hour weigh-ins, they do play a factor. They do play a factor. There's no doubt about it. And it's everything matters.
Sometimes Sunday's harder, actually. Sometimes
Yeah.
Sunday is like you can balloon up a lot and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm 8 over. I did not mean to get that high. And you got to lose 8 pounds on Saturday.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, some of these kids now are so good with their weight. It's pretty amazing to me. It's pretty darn amazing.
Well,
to
they
me.
have a lot of resources out. Even like Coleman Scott, when he was making weight for the Olympics, he was saying he just had pre-ordered, pre-done meals.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have to think about it. He had these meals. He's like, I just got to put it in the oven and it's healthy.
Yeah.
And you can do. He's like, it was expensive, but
Yeah.
for him to get down to the weight that he was like, I had to shrink.
Jesus.
But you still want to be putting in the right stuff. So it's just nice when it's done, right? You just grab it and eat it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have actually I do spots I did spots for Meal Prep Sunday San Diego, and like the food is good. Like I'm a snob with food. Like I'm bougie. Like with food.
Jersey people, they're
Yeah, East Coast food snob. I know. I'm well aware. But like the food is actually good too. Like it's not bad. Like it tastes good and it's super healthy. Yeah, there's so we got a girl on our team that she makes 102 pounds, and it's not easy. It's not an easy cut for her. But she is so doggone disciplined about it. It's freaking impressive that some of these kids and I'm not diminishing women's wrestling, but certainly there are more things that go into
they got more than they got
women
they're dealing with. Yep.
Yeah, women cutting weight than dudes. And so because of that, generally you don't hear as much of the girls cutting as much of the weight. But dude, these girls are really disciplined. And I gotta tell you, I've been like, this is my first real time training women. Like I've never really trained women. These girls are tough. These girls are tough from shit, dude. It's way impressive to me. Some of the things that these girls are doing.
It's grown a ton in the last few years, big time.
It's cool. It's good. It's really good. Like it is obviously helping. And I hope it continues to go in that direction. All right. Any closing thoughts before we get moving here, brother?
Nope, that's it. 4 good duels. I'm sure there's some really good matchups, out there too, but we just try to focus on some duels and go that route.
All right, brother, man. Good to speak to you. Everybody else, I'll catch y'all next week. See ya.